Today I want to focus on the tag team of Kevin Steen and El Generico, Steenerico if you will. A tag team that got over not only by giving fans great matches, but the juxtaposition of the comedic El Generico partnering with the no-nonsense Kevin Steen was an entertaining dynamic. It's the old odd couple formula. From the Rock and Sock connection to RK Bro, this is the kind of stuff that works in professional wrestling, and I think it will always work. Add to it that Steen and Generico were and are best friends behind the scenes, you can see that real-life bond bleed into their character work, whether as allies or enemies. So today, let's take a look at the rookie year of Steenerico in ROH, and the two men who helped them generate a buzz, the Briscoe brothers. Their 2007 matches shouldn't be overlooked for Tag Team Feud of the Year because all four men went to war. So to see where it all started, we look at Ring of Honor 5th Year Festival Philadelphia. The Briscoe brothers versus Kevin Steen and El Generico. The Briscoes, who've been doing this song and dance since the year 2000, are already seasoned veterans. Steen and Generico began tagging in 2004, but this is their first time doing it in Ring of Honor. Steenerico is the young, inexperienced team looking to make a name for themselves by going toe-to-toe with the best ROH has to offer. What happens is that not only are Jay and Mark Briscoe tested, but Steenerico very nearly pull off a huge upset. The Briscoes do end up winning the match, but Kevin and Generico win something just as important: the support of fans. Everyone in the crowd chants, "Please come back," and indeed they will be back. A braggadocious Kevin Steen, accompanied by El Generico, confronts the Briscoes at This Means War 2, where he speaks of pushing dem boys to their limit. Steen takes an already injured Mark Briscoe out. So at Fighting Spirit, Mark Briscoe is replaced by Eric Stevens as he tags with Jay against Steenerico. Jay wants nothing more than to get even with Steen for what he did to his brother. Stevens proves to be a formidable replacement. He and Jay operate well together. Things fall apart when the No Remorse Corps, a group comprised of Rocky Romero, Davey Richards, and Roderick Strong, go after Eric Stevens due to his allegiance with Austin Aries. Jay Briscoe is left by himself to fight two men. This is a fight he simply will not survive alone. Kevin Steen rubs salt in the wound, shadowboxing with a non-existent partner. But Jay does have a partner. Straight from the hospital, still in street clothes, Mark Briscoe emerges to rescue his brother. And when Mark tags into a loud pop, there's absolute fire. But Generico is a fire extinguisher, targeting the head of a man recovering from a concussion and who's risking it all by trying to help his brother. Jay tags in to spare Mark from further head trauma. Steen tries to end Mark's involvement, once again leaving Jay by his lonesome to do battle. A heartless Steen looks to permanently be rid of Mark. The younger brother even takes the package pile driver brainbuster combo, something he can't kick out of. The Briscoes are the current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, and Steenerico has just beaten them. Generico shows concern for the health of Mark Briscoe, much to Steen's chagrin. At Fight at the Roxbury, Mark Briscoe and Kevin Steen clash in singles action. This is a fight without honor. For the uninitiated, it's a match without countouts or disqualifications. Call it a hardcore match or what have you. The point is, these two men beat the crap out of each other. Mark does not get the revenge he seeks as Kevin Steen wins with a package pile driver. That's not enough for Steen though. His desire to inflict further harm is thankfully thwarted by Jay Briscoe. Later that night, after Jay loses to Morishima, Steen pounces on a vulnerable Jay. Mark Briscoe and El Generico get involved, and all four men brawl into the halls of the building. Kevin Steen and El Generico are finally afforded the opportunity to take the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship away from the Briscoe brothers. El Generico is kept isolated as he must endure a barrage of double-team tactics. This breaks down into a high-octane spectacle with bodies flying everywhere. This El Generico bump is something else. No one is safe in this match. Once again, Steenerico becomes very, very close to defeating the Briscoes, but the champions struggle to cement a win here. It takes an assisted J-Driller to be done with this. The battle may be over, but with a ladder, Kevin Steen lets the champs know the war will continue. The sheer hatred between these two teams is fully embraced in a Boston street fight. Non-title and non-sanctioned, this isn't about gold tonight. This is about one thing: the unapologetic, unmitigated destruction of enemies deemed worthy of getting your hands soaked in blood over. The fans love it though. Everyone rises to their feet as to not miss a single violent detail. Kevin Steen once again uses a ladder to assist in the madness. You know where this is eventually going. Jay Briscoe suffers a package pile driver on the ladder and is defeated. Kevin Steen declares that he and El Generico will be the next ROH Tag Team Champions. Although that level of brutality would usually end a blood feud, it only whets everyone's appetite for a smorgasbord of pain. As 24 hours later, these men are back at it again. The night begins with El Generico versus Mark Briscoe in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Not as many weapons are involved this time. Their bodies are the weapons. Of course, Kevin Steen runs out with a ladder. That distraction gives Generico the chance to hit his torpedo-style tornado DDT to pick up the victory. That leaves us with Kevin Steen versus Jay Briscoe in a lights-out match. Commentary explains that it's a match where you have to keep your opponent down for the count of 10. It's a last man standing match. Again, not much in the way of weapons. Everyone took enough chair shots last night to last a full career. This is about big move after big move to keep your opponent down for the count. El Generico rushes out to aid his partner, leading to a second package pile driver, which gets the job done. Mark Briscoe comes out, but what's done is done. Generico has swept the Briscoes in singles matches. Next is getting a hold of their titles. In a steel cage, Steen and Generico have their next tag title opportunity. The fight starts hot and heavy on the floor. Jay Briscoe is already opened up. Mark Briscoe backs Big Bro up. Mark gets thrown into the crowd for his efforts. Kevin even dives out there himself. The match can only end in the cage, but more brawling on the floor continues. When they do enter the cage, Steen is trapped like an animal with his partner still outside. Generico soon enters to save Steen's bacon. We get just what I like to see within a steel cage: violence and blood. Commentary mentions how no one in Ring of Honor history has brought it to the Briscoes the way Generico has. Jay is sent outside the cage. Mark is left alone to eat offense until Jay pulls Steen out. Now Generico faces a 2-on-1 problem. Steen tries re-entering to disastrous results. After taking a doomsday device and a spiked J-driller, Generico is pinned. Kevin Steen doesn't take this loss well. He dishes out punishment to the champions. The next night, Generico has another match with the Briscoe brothers for the ROH Tag Team Championship. This time it's a 2 out of 3 falls match. The Briscoes have a track record of finishing this match stipulation in 2 straight falls. The strategy of isolating El Generico is once again utilized. Likewise, Generico do the same to Jay. With a frog splash, Jay wins his team fall number 1. Will the brothers win in 2 straight falls like so many times before? With Generico wasted outside, the champions have their way with Steen. When Generico recovers, he shows heart and resilience. The consummate underdog comes so close. Steen shows his stubbornness in not falling to the doomsday device. After a coast-to-coast somersault followed by a package pile driver, victory slips through Generico's fingers when Jay saves Mark from the brainbuster. A J-driller cutthroat driver combo earns the Briscoes 2 straight falls. The Generico title chase has ended for now. Or has it? The Briscoes shake Generico's hand. Steen's not having it. He fakes respect and goes straight for, you guessed it, a ladder. The champions are taken out. It's finally time for the inevitable ladder war. Generico versus the Briscoes for the belts one more time in a feud so hot, it's the marquee match of the Ring of Honor pay-per-view man up. But this is it. This is the final battle between these two teams, at least in 2007. I'd say what happens here is definitely worthy of being the climatic cherry on top of this year-long rivalry. These teams once again produce a match that has nearly every fan standing on their feet because every single thing is must-see. The wobbly ladders are short and undependable. The maintenance ladder has to be used. Steen hits the mother of package pile drivers, followed by Generico receiving the father of J-drillers. Jay Briscoe climbs up and retrieves the belts to chants of Match of the Year, followed by Thank You Briscoes. An angry Kevin Steen pie faces El Generico and storms off. As the sun sets on one feud, a full moon shines on something new. The Age of the Fall enters the picture, and the Briscoes are decimated. And there you have it, the Tag Team Feud of the Year, a series of matches that helped solidify Kevin Steen and El Generico as must-see wrestlers in Ring of Honor, and the Briscoes deserve a ton of credit for that. However, as a bonus, let's go forward a year. It's ROH-driven 2008. The Age of the Fall's Tyler Black and Jimmy Jacobs hold the Tag Team Championship. Kevin Steen and El Generico have yet to win the gold. Tonight, that all changes. The package piledriver brainbuster combo on Jimmy Jacobs creates a history-making moment. Generico has finally done it. As far as dem boys, they come knocking on the door of opportunity, but this time Steen and Generico have the champion's advantage while the Briscoes go on the chase. This is just something I felt like adding to end the video, as all I set out to accomplish was covering the 2007 series of matches. If I had access to the HDNet library, I could properly cover the 2009 series. For now, let's put a bow on this. Have a great 2024 and enjoy some pro wrestling.